NASCAR's best teams are trying to organize their own races outside of NASCAR. This may be a bigger story than we all initially realize. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove, midweek edition of the show. It's no secret that right now, NASCAR and many of its best teams don't see eye to eye. The teams have made themselves clear. They want a larger percentage of the TV revenue. The reason they're asking for it now is because next year, in 2023, NASCAR will begin negotiating a new media rights deal that would begin in 2025. Simultaneously, NASCAR has been and will continue to work with the teams to extend the charter agreement. Under all the current agreements, 65% of the roughly $800 million that NASCAR takes in from its TV partners every year goes to the racetracks. 10% goes to NASCAR itself, and then the remaining 25% is divvied up amongst the teams per the charter agreement, per the purse money. The teams want more than that 25%. And they've been publicly pressuring NASCAR now for the past nearly 2 months. In October, Curtis Polk from 2311 Racing said, quote, "The economic model is really broken for the teams. We've gotten to the point where the teams realize the sustainability in the sport is not very long term. This is not a fair system." Jeff Gordon, representing Hendrick Motorsports, said something similar. "I have a lot of fears that sustainability is going to be a real challenge." Now, NASCAR did acknowledge their concerns back in October. They admitted that the current model is flawed, but continued to insist that the teams look for new ways to cut costs, which prompted this response from Dave Alpern of Joe Gibbs Racing. Quote, "We've already had substantial cuts. We are doing more with less than we ever have in 30 years. So it's safe to say that the teams and NASCAR do not currently see eye to eye. They're pretty far apart in their negotiations. Let's fast forward now to today. Well, last night, when Adam Stern of Sports Business Journal dropped, in my opinion, a bombshell of a report. His initial tweet reads, "The Race Team Alliance is deepening its relationship with Wasserman to have the agency look into the possibility of holding RTA exhibition races, a big development that suggests NASCAR's best teams are exploring organizing their own events in the off-season." Whoa. Can you imagine seeing Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas compete against Hendrick Chevys, Penske Fords, in a non-NASCAR event? The teams are looking into organizing their own events without NASCAR. That is huge news. But it is important to note that these talks are in the very, very early stages. They're still just a pie-in-the-sky concept, if you will. In just the second sentence of Adam Stern's Sports Business Journal article, he writes, "Wasserman Managing Director of the U.S., Will Pleasance, confirmed to Sports Business Journal on Tuesday that the agency has, quote, been hired to explore exhibition race opportunities, both domestically and internationally, via a request for information proposal, very exploratory." So it's early. We're not going to see any Race Team Alliance racing this offseason. Who or what is Wasserman, many of you may be asking? They're a sports and entertainment marketing agency that, as of I think September of this year, were hired by the Race Team Alliance to help all the teams understand their value in today's sports media landscape. Really to help them negotiate with NASCAR over the next TV rights deal and charter agreement. First question, before we get to what all this means, is could the teams legally do this? Adam Stern writes, "NASCAR's teams have certain rules they have to abide by as part of the charter agreement with the sanctioning body, and those include not starting competing racing series. That agreement runs through 2024. However, it appears that teams feel they have the legal standing to do some form of exhibition races as long as they compete in non-NASCAR race cars and branded apparel." For sure, if they race NASCAR Next Gen cars, that would violate NASCAR's testing policy and teams would face hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fines and probably suspensions. But the teams believe, and I'm no legal expert nor have I read the exact charter agreement, that as long as the series isn't for points, as long as they're not using NASCAR cars, they're not using their yellow, red, and blue NASCAR logo, they're fine. So now that we know all the facts, what exactly is this? In my opinion, this is leverage. This is the teams looking at their recent negotiations with NASCAR, seeing just how far apart they are on key issues, and saying we need to do something that scares them. We need to show the France family, the Steves, that they need us more than we need them. We are the stars. We are who the fans want to see. That's primarily what this is, in my opinion, a negotiating tactic. Do the teams actually want to race during the off-season in non-NASCAR cars at non-NASCAR owned tracks? Maybe, but I'm a little skeptical. The NASCAR offseason is already one of the shortest in major sports. And I know during this past season, many team members voiced their issues with NASCAR's grueling schedule. The Cup Series only had one off weekend all year long. They raced on Easter. It's a grind, and when you're not a superstar driver who has their own motorhome, who can bring all their family to the track each week if they choose, it's hard. It's not fun all the time. So do the teams actually want to add to their off-season schedule? I don't know. Part of me thinks it's a bluff, just straight up. But maybe I'm wrong. Say they do actually want to race in the off-season, in addition to the NASCAR season. Could the race teams, the Race Team Alliance, could they pull this off? I think the answer is a resounding yes. The SRX just did. The Superstar Racing Experience was nothing 3 or 4 years ago. Their first season on CBS, they averaged over 1 million viewers per race. The SRX proved that if you have stars, you can sell your product. If past their prime Tony Stewart, Bill Elliott, and Michael Waltrip can gain eyeballs, then prime Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, put them in anything, they'll attract an audience. I think it's safe to say. So to wrap everything up, this story is eyebrow raising. This is the team saying, hey, my 9-to-5 job isn't paying the bills, so I gotta look for part-time work to make ends meet. That doesn't reflect well on NASCAR at all. It also reflects badly on NASCAR that these stories keep going public. 2 months ago, it was the teams themselves airing their frustrations. Now, it's one of their partners, one of their consultants talking to the media. I think it's safe to say NASCAR is not happy about this. NASCAR is fine and often promotes their drivers, their stars, racing in other series. Like when drivers go run the Chili Bowl, NASCAR will often help promote that or talk about on social media. They'll talk about on TV. The Snowball Derby is this week. NASCAR has no issues with their stars racing in these other events. But if their stars go off and form their own series in some respect, yeah, NASCAR's not going to take kindly to that. NASCAR, I don't think, is at all happy with this news. Question now is, will these strong-arm tactics the Race Team Alliance is employing, will they bring NASCAR to the table and maybe get both sides a little closer together? Or will this be a wedge that widens a potential split? No, I wasn't gonna use that word. Oh no. Oh, I made it this whole video without saying the S word. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic, but that's why this story raises eyebrows, at least a little. We will have to wait and see exactly what happens. That's gonna do it for this video. I wanna hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you think this is a legitimate opportunity that the Race Team Alliance is pursuing? Do you think they actively are trying to race in the off-season? Or do you see this more as a negotiating tactic? It could be both. It could absolutely serve as both. Share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any upcoming NASCAR news stories, rumors, predictions, and much, much more. And as always, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for continuing to support the show all year long. I greatly appreciate y'all. I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take it easy, y'all.